Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing? Man, Antonelli here. Hey, what's going on, everybody? How we doing? Matt Antonelli here. Today we're talking about your approach as a hitter depending on the count during your at-bat. Okay, so your approach is going to change depending on, is it first pitch? Are you up in the count? Are you even in the count? Are you behind in the count? And so you've got to be able to have an approach for each situation. So let's talk a little bit about how I did it as a hitter and then how we talk to our hitters about their approach. The first thing I always start with when I'm talking about approach is getting a good pitch to hit. That's the most important thing that you can do as a hitter. So what is a good pitch to hit? Everyone's slightly different, but for me, I think it's looking for a pitch, middle chunk of the plate, and typically it's going to be a fastball, right? So I want to get a fastball. Listen, I would say 99% of hitters are probably best at hitting the fastball. It's the pitch that we practice all the time, right? Every BP session that we get is fastballs, pretty much. And so almost everyone's best at hitting a fastball. So it only makes sense for me to get on the fastball. Plus, most pitchers, they're going to throw fastballs more than any other pitch, okay? There might be a guy or two in the big leagues that throw something else more, but almost everybody's throwing fastballs more than every other pitch. So if I'm best at hitting a fastball and the pitcher's going to throw a fastball more than any other pitch, it makes sense for me to get on the fastball. And I also talk about getting it middle chunk of the plate, okay? So I want to get something that's a hittable pitch. Some guys maybe hit the ball slightly away better. Some guys maybe hit the ball slightly in a little bit better. But if I'm thinking middle chunk of the plate and the ball is ever so slightly away, I can hit that. If the ball is slightly in, I can hit that. Where I think guys get in trouble sometimes is they look, okay, I want the ball in, right? So I look for the ball in, and now the ball's a little bit further in, and I swing at it, and now the ball's on the black, or it's even a little bit off the plate, and I chase something. Okay, so I think if you start with middle chunk of the plate, if you're instead of looking away and chasing something off there, or in and chasing something off there, I've got a little bit more to work with if I'm sitting middle chunk, okay? So that's the typical approach that I'm going to have first pitch, and if I'm ahead in the count, okay? Again, it's about getting my pitch. I'm a much better hitter if I get my pitch. If you looked at Ted Williams' book, you know, he charted how he hit every ball in the zone. Even Ted Williams was a below average hitter if he swung at pitches out of his zone. Okay, so if you look at that chart again, he was hammering balls middle chunk of the plate, about waist high. That's the pitch that he did the most damage on. Only makes sense to look for that pitch early in the count. Okay, so that's the first thing we talk about. The other thing we talk about is anticipating getting our pitch and being in a yes, yes, no approach. So I'm anticipating getting my pitch in the count that I'm in, right? So I'm ahead in the count, first pitch, I'm looking for my pitch, I'm anticipating my pitch, and I'm getting ready to hit it. So I'm thinking yes, yes, yes. If the ball's there, then I'm on time. Yes, 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 whack, I hit it. If the ball's not there, yes, 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 no. I put the brakes on, right? So if it's not in my zone or it's not the pitch I'm looking for, if it's a breaking ball and I'm looking fastball, then I just slam on the brakes. I just say no. If it's a strike, congratulations, you've got a strike on me. Now we'll go to the next pitch, okay? So really, really important. So look for a fastball, look middle chunk of the plate, anticipate it's going to be there, be ready to hit it. Again, if it's a breaking ball, if it's a changeup, if it's a slider, splitter, whatever, take it, okay? So we talk about, to our hitters, you can't be ready for every single pitch. If you're sitting on every pitch, then you're not ready for any pitch, is the way I talk about it, right? I can't be ready for a fastball, a breaking ball, a slider, a changeup, a splitter. It's impossible, okay? So I've got to try to eliminate pitches, and I want to get, again, at most of the levels of players watching this, I'm going to get a fastball when I'm ahead in the count. That's the pitch I want to sit on. If you're playing in the big leagues and you've got all these scouting reports and percentages and it says in this count the guy throws 72% breaking balls and you want to sit on a breaking ball, go for it. That's fine. But at most levels, it's going to be a fastball when you're ahead in the count. I'd sit on fastball, anticipate it, middle chunk of the plate, yes, yes, no, whack, hit it, okay? Now, when we get behind in the count, okay, so that's what we're doing ahead in the count, right? When we get behind in the count, now my approach changes a little bit. So now I can't always just sit on my pitch in my spot, and if it's not there, take it, especially with 2 strikes, okay? So as we get deeper in the count, let's say we get to 2 strikes, we're behind in the count, I now need to expand my zone a little bit, right? I have to battle, I have to be a tough out, I've got to be able to cover the entire part of the play. So first thing for me is mindset. I got to be a tough out. I'm going to grind the at-bat away. All right, so that's the first thing. I'm going to put the ball in play. I'm going to make them defend it. The other thing we talked about is what I like to do late in the count, 2 strikes, is I like to think about driving the fastball to the opposite field side. So if I'm a right-handed hitter, I'm going to drive the fastball through the second baseman's head or in the gap, and I'm going to be able to then pull the off-speed pitch. Okay, so I'm thinking drive the fastball that way. If it's an off-speed pitch, I'll probably pull it. All right. What a lot of players do is either they don't have an approach or they think up, they don't, they just keep thinking, oh, I'm going to drive the fastball this way. And if they get anything slow, they get anything off speed, breaking ball, slider, changeup, anything, they're way out in front, they swing and miss or they roll over the third baseman. All right. So I'm behind in the count, late in the count, 2 strikes. I've got to give up something to get something. I can't just continually sit there and say, no, I'm going to get my pitch and drive it. Well, with 2 strikes, they're probably not going to give you your pitch a whole lot, right? Unless he makes a mistake. So if you look at the percentages again, with 2 strikes, I mean, most pitchers are going to start to go to their breaking ball and off-speed stuff. They're going to try to get you to chase a little bit more, all right? So I have to give up something to get something. I can't just look for my favorite pitch of all time anymore. So again, if I start thinking, okay, 2 strikes, I'm going to look to drive the fastball that way. That's going to keep me on the fastball there. Right? So if I think about hitting the fastball a little bit deeper back here, I can do that. Now if the pitch is slower, if it's a changeup, it's a breaking ball, slider, whatever, well now it's a little bit slower, so I'll be able to catch that ball a little bit more out front. So I think about drive the fastball that way, catch the off-speed pitch a little bit more out front, and now I'm able to stay on both pitches. Okay? If the opposite again, if I just keep saying, no, I'm going to get my pitch and I'm going to get that fastball, I'm going to get the bat head out on it, well then I've got to get the bat head way out there to hit the fastball, and now it's a breaking ball, something slow, I'm out of the zone already, and I have no chance to hit a breaking ball. So if you see hitters that just cannot hit with 2 strikes, they're constantly just waving at off-speed pitches, it's probably because they're trying to get to the fastball so much. I'm trying to get out here on the fastball that I have no chance on any other pitch. And again, just think about from the pitcher's perspective, he's not going to give you your pitch very much with 2 strikes, and he's probably going to go to off-speed stuff, okay? So that's the advice we always give. Again, now I'll be a lefty, I'm going to drive the fastball that way, and I can catch the off-speed stuff a little bit more out front, all right? And when you get to the major leagues, you get up to a high level, where hitting becomes hard is now they start coming in with the fastball, right? So they're going to throw the fastball into you. So now it makes it a little bit more challenging. You're trying to hit the fastball that way, and they throw fastball inside to you. It gets a little bit tougher. You got to fight that off, right? And you got to also learn how to take that pitch. When they throw the ball in here, nope, that's in, it's a ball. Guys have trouble. They want to swing at that pitch that's in off the plate, fastball in. Then it becomes really hard to hit. I've got to be able to hit a fastball up there and a fastball way in here and an off-speed pitch. That's difficult. Usually at lower levels, you don't have to worry about that. Usually, if you think about the younger levels, even high school and sometimes even college, 2 strikes, they go everything away, right? You face a good player that can come fastball in here, then it becomes more difficult. You got to be able to learn how to lay off that pitch or battle it, fight it off, right? And hope that he can't throw it again. So hopefully that gives you guys a little bit of an idea of the thought process between first pitch, being ahead, or being behind in 2 strikes. I think if you use that approach, it'll give you a chance. It'll give you a shot to be successful, okay? So hopefully that helps you out. Let me know if you have any more questions in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, share the video with all your friends. I really appreciate that. Check out the description box below. We've got a bunch of stuff down there for you guys to check out. We've got a deal going on with Plate Crate. We've got our link to our Patreon site where you can support the channel. We've got a bunch of other recommendations down there, so definitely check that out. And that's all I got. Good luck to everybody with your seasons, and we'll talk to you later.